Hello and welcome to a new episode on Sadhana World Foundation. We continue our efforts on describing our day-to-day life incidents and how we deal with those incidents, how we should lead our life. Some reflections from our Puranas, itihasas, and mythological texts, and sometimes lessons in history, point us in the right direction of leading our lives. We become stronger and better individuals if we think and reflect upon our behaviors. There are three people in a family, A, B, and C. A and B love a game of cricket. World Cup is going on. They bought 2 tickets for watching the game because C doesn't like watching cricket. So A and B had planned that they would go together to watch the game of cricket. However, A could not make it on the day of the game. So there are 2 tickets bought with a lot of difficulties and pain. B and C have to go together so that the 2 tickets can be used and B can enjoy the game of cricket. After all, they are members of the same family. But C turns down the proposal and is very clear that C would not go to watch a game of cricket. It's just too boring. So B now decides that he would not go to watch the game of cricket alone, so he thinks of alternatives. So he finally spots a neighbor who is willing to go to watch the game of cricket very happily. So B gifts the tickets to the neighbor's family. This happens in our day-to-day life. Of course, B feels very frustrated because the plan of watching this game has now not fructified. And C doesn't care because this was never on C's mind and it doesn't align with C's interest. That's fine. And A, of course, feels a little disappointed. So this is what happens in life. They are all three human beings closely connected together as members of one family. So A feels disappointed because he could not make it. C feels little bit guilty in the mind because C could not accompany B to watch the game of cricket. And B did not feel like going alone, so B feels frustrated. However, at the end of the day, B felt that the tickets have not been wasted. They have been gifted to someone who can happily use it. Possibly that's the best that one could have done. Now, let's think of these situations of frustration, disappointment, anger, multiple incidents which happen in our lives almost every day. What do? Normally, we get angry that A, you should have come, you did not come. You created trouble for me. I am pained, I am troubled because of you, A. And B says normally that C, you could have compromised, you could have sacrificed, you could have accompanied for the sake of my happiness. And B would have always externalized this to A or to C, who should have behaved in a particular way. That is what life happens. And at the end of the day, you feel very angry. What do our mythological texts or our Puranas or our itihasas talk about? So I started thinking about it. I started looking at some of these texts, and let me present a few of those ideas. I think the first idea, which is over and over told to us right from the time we are in our schools, colleges, and throughout our life until we leave this mortal body. Control on the senses, or damaha. if you look at Vishnu Puran, Bhagavad Puran, and many such Puranas, we will see through several stories how people have been advised to control their senses. King Harishchandra in Vishnu Puran was a king who, in spite of tremendous amount of challenges and difficulties, continues to focus, continues to stay on the path of his dharma. The identity that he had built for himself and his behaviors, he doesn't change them because of the challenges which come on his way. He holds his nerves. He keeps self-control tremendously. We are all encouraged to do this as children, as adults, as grown-up people, as old people, that we must control our words, our actions, our thoughts, especially in the moments of difficulty, in the moments of challenge. Then the second such quality described in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is a krodha, which means absence of anger. Look at the Ramayana. Ravan, who was trying to harm Ram, trying to abduct Sita, had sent multiple agents to create this trouble, and his sister got attacked by Lakshman, and Ravan really got very angry and promised that he himself would come into action and will abduct Sita. And that's what he did. And how Ram responded to this situation of having not found his wife after he came back from the jungle. He was sad. Of course, he was frustrated. He was disappointed. However, his actions are very different from King Ravan's actions. That differentiates the two characters. Whether we want to be like Ravan or we want to be like Ram is in our hands. That's why it's the second quality, which is a krodha, absence of anger. Then of course, the third quality, which is kyama, or forgiveness. I think our Bhagavad Puran has got many stories which encourages human beings to let bygones be bygones. Move on in life. Forgive the people who seem to have caused pain, who seem to have caused difficulties and troubles for us. Wars are being fought in today's time, as well as historically, as well as mythologically, because of lack of forgiveness. And many other qualities, of course. However, this is the third one, about letting go of things. And the fourth one is pursuit of knowledge, or jnana yoga. That means you control your mind, you control your anger, you keep the anger away, you pursue information or knowledge rather than being revengeful. That's the fourth one. Upanishads are full of advices, explanations, formulae for all of us to lead life by pursuing the path of knowledge rather than listening to the heart and being highly emotive, highly reactive to situations. And finally, the fifth one, bhakti, or the path of surrendering or devoting oneself, or devotion. Again, all our Puranas talk about various characters who have followed the path of devotion, followed the path of surrendering oneself to some supreme power which helps them curb reacting to situations which seem to be extremely unfair to them. There are multiple paths, multiple texts have talked about, and all these paths could be pursued together, or some of them could be pursued together, or at least one of these five we follow. We are able to control our frustration, make our days more interesting, more exciting, and more meaningful, more purposeful. Thank you very much for watching this and spreading these wise words that are embedded in our itihasas and Puranas.